Hello and welcome to Magical Maidens Jewelry Tutorials. Today it's a little something different, something I've never showed you before. It's jewelry making with a die cutting machine and die cuts. Now some of you may not even know what a die cutting machine are or die cuts. That's okay because I didn't even know up until a month or so ago when a company reached out to me wanting a review of some of their products, and really the only products were scrapbooking type products, and I don't do scrapbooking and making cards and whatnot. Now if you don't know the die cutting machine, you can make cards with them. You do embossing and you also cut out shapes and fancy things to make cards. But there's so many different things you can make. You can make paper lanterns. You can make so many things. Usually you want to use something like cardstock, and I'm going to show you some cardstock right here. Hold on. Okay, so some cardstock will look like this. Okay, and in the back it'll look like this. I got it at Hobby Lobby. It was $1.99. They were 50% off. Then they have this kind of cardstock too, a little more decorative, okay? But then I get these mats. They're a little thicker and they're a little bit more money, like $2 something, okay? And I've shown you this on my other jewelry tutorials. You have thick encrusted ones and then thinner ones. Okay. So the problem with that is it didn't cut as well. It didn't cut as well, my die cuts, on the thick mat. It did cut better on cardstock, but I have to try different methods, and maybe it's just too thick and glittery, but it doesn't matter because whatever they make in the mat, they make in the cardstock. So here are my die cuts. They're going to come connected. And then all you have to do is break it. Now I'm going to make this picture a little bit bigger for you. So you get a better view. I don't know why I didn't do that sooner. Okay. So you're going to need like a pokey tool or even a toothpick. And I'm going to show you why. Now I have to get my toothpick out. So you can use the toothpick as well, or anything that you might poke. This has a crafting tool, and you can find these at the Dollar Tree. That's where I got this. And I'm going to show you everything. But first I want to show you the earrings that I made. And I'm going to get the die cut that I used for this. So here's the die cut, okay? The blade will be on the back, and this is the front. So you're going to put it down on your fabric. And you also have some plates that you put on your die cutting machine. So we'll get to that. I have the Sizzix Big Shot. All right. So it comes out once you cut it like this, but you have to pop out all the little pieces. So you'll want something nearby or even a garbage can, and then you could take your crafting tool or a toothpick, and I found that I could see it better on this side if you have a darker color, and then just pop out the cutouts, you see? And that's what you're going to do. So I've gone and done that. Now I've done both sides, so I created 4, but what you're going to have to do, and I'm looking for my little pieces, so bear with me here. I had little pieces. Cardstock will come like this, okay? And like I said, I got mine at Hobby Lobby. You can get cardstock anywhere. I I even tried it with this material, but this is the cardstock I was using, okay? And then I have the plates that go with my Big Shot Sizzix machine. And I also bought one of these self-healing mats. If you're going to get a die cutting machine, now I didn't know it's not going to tell you in the instruction booklet or anything like that, but from watching other videos on the Sizzix Big Shot machine or any die cutting, I noticed that a lot of people said a good tip is to use a healing mat. This one I got at Dollar Tree, and it was only like $1 something. So you'll have to trim it, but I got 2 of them. And you have to look because it was on the bottom shelf all the way in the back. I'd get this one. They have another one that's gray, but this is the one you want. It's a self-healing cutting mat, and if you use it with your plates, because what's going to happen is your die cut, if on the plates all the time, eventually it's going to not cut anymore. It'll dull the blade. But if you use this with your cutting blades, with your plates, and the fabric and or whatever you're going to be cutting on cardstock, it'll keep them sharp and last longer, because you don't want to keep buying die cuts, okay? So that was my extra one, and I'm going to get to the cutting of them and show you how it looks. So, alright, let's see now. So what I want to do now, though, is turn these into earrings. So I'm going to take my round nose and my flat nose, and by the way, this bead design board kit and these tools I'm using all came with other accessories as well as a little container full of jewelry findings, and I got these from BB Craft, and I did an unboxing and review on it. So you want to check out my review product review playlist on my channel, and you will get to see this, as well as I did a jewelry tutorial showing you some more products I received from BB Craft using this bead design board and the other products. So you don't want to miss that. I got some nice natural agate slices that you can make that are pendants and other things. So go check that out if you haven't seen it already. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these into earrings. So they already have a hole that you poke out in the die cut, so that's ready for you. And I'm going to go ahead and close the earring part, making sure that's closed. And it's so simple. That's all you really got to do. Now, when cutting them, when you're doing a backing, you got to do it opposite. Okay, so I'm just going to give you an example right here. For the first one, the top, I cut it like this in the plate. I put this down on the top part. Okay, and I did that for the 2 top parts. And I just cut a piece that I was going to need. For the other side, you got to match up the holes, so it's not going to match if you do it all with on this side. So then I went over here and did 2 more on this side, and that's how I got the back and the holes all match up after you poke them out. Okay, so I wanted to show you that, how that would work, because I forgot to do that, and I I cut a whole bunch of fronts. That's okay, I have extra. I can make extra earrings or turn it into a pendant or make a necklace using a few of these. Don't use too much glue because it'll ooze out and make a mess. And if you're using glittery cardstock or glittery material, it'll dull that because the glue will get on it. So just use enough, but not a whole bunch. Of earrings. Wasn't that so easy to do? And they look pretty. Now another thing you could do, I got these die cuts a package of 30 off of Amazon. And no, I'm not doing a product review. My husband bought them for me, just like with the Big Shot Sizzix, all for my birthday last week. So yeah, it was a good package. If you want, I will put the link to these on Amazon. You get 30 of them, and they're good if you're just starting out. They're good to practice with. They have the Binks ones, the bigger ones, the die cuts that have the blade inside of the die cut, and that's a whole different one. Alright, so I'm going to show you different things. One thing you can do is cut out a piece with the shape, still do the back and the front, and then put a piece of this in the middle, so you have this showing through. Isn't that cool? So before you put the other side on, you would do a kind of tracing of that, and then cut out a shape and stick it in between and then glue it, and you'll have either the blue shining through or the red shining through the holes. So that's just an option, idea, if you have any type of earring or die cut that has those kind of cutouts. It gives you a few, like that, like a leaf one, and a little leaf one, and it gives you, oh, it also gives you this shape, which I'm going to show, and then I have these. See, they come together and you got to break them apart. So I'm going to show you this die cut, and I'll show you, I still have to cut out more, so that's what I'm going to do. So it's this die cut, this would be your fringes. Alright, and I'm going to pull that one out. I've got to glue it. I've cut 2 of them already. See, that's what it's going to look like. And these, it doesn't matter. This you can, because the back is exactly as the front, there's no holes, you can still cut it on this side. You don't have to flip it over and cut it like you do with the cutouts that have to match. So I just cut 2 of these. Then I'm going to put some E6000 glue on them. I'm going to line them up. And then look, you poke the little hole out with your toothpick or your crafting tool. And these are like fringes. So you would put a little glue on that too, so the back and the front. And then I'm just going to put an earring fish hook, and that's it. I have to cut out 2 more, which I'm going to do with you in a minute. So I'm going to leave this die cut. I'm going to put this die cut away. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you myself using the Big Shot machine. So I got to clear a path here. A little piece first off of my cardstock. You can go like this and see how much you're going to need. Okay, so now I'm going to just cut. What I'm going to do is I want to have enough, but I don't want to waste. I'm going to cut right here. And then I'll cut another piece. Okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Sizzix Big Shot machine, and I want to make sure that you're getting this, so we're going to turn my camera around. Okay, and you have plates. So what it gives you is a top plate. This is the healing board. You have to buy that. I put a piece of cardboard. Sometimes you have to improvise. Another plate it gives you your platform, and then an adapter platform if you need a little more lift. So you can play around with these and see what works for you. I use this, then I go on here, but I don't need this right now. I don't need the adapter. Don't worry if it leaves imprints on your glass, and it will bend a little and you'll hear a noise. Don't get scared. Now your healing pad will end up getting kind of warped. Soak it in warm water for an hour and it'll come right back. I know people said that they've had theirs for 7 to 10 years. So, okay. I'm going to put it here. Best bet is here. I'm going to put it with the blade facing down, and the blade is facing down, and then I'm going to put my other top plate on it, and then I'm going to put it in the machine. So now I'm going to go like that and hold it kind of, and now I'm going to run it through. So now your plates will kind of bend up. Don't worry about that. You can hold it a little. And then this is where you have to hold and push down and put a lot more force and crank it. Now they do have electric ones. And then pull that out. Now I'm going to take this off and look, it comes right out. And then I have the earring. And then I just poke my little toothpick through the hole where you're going to put your earring hook, and that comes out, and there it is. So now to do the other side, so then I have a complete set, and I'll get to the gluing in a minute. So that's for that one. So now we're going to do it again, and I'm going to again put, these are the blades, and then put them down, kind of push down. You can, that side's kind of warped, so I'm going to do it on this side, but it really doesn't matter. It's still going to cut. So I'm going to do it like that. Now I'm going to get the top plate. Notice I didn't have to use the adapter, just the platform, a piece of cardboard, one of these plates, then the cutting healing mat, and then the fabric, the cutter, and this. So now make sure that that doesn't move. I'm going to do it all over again. We're going to get it in here, and then we're going to start cranking. You have to hold this because it does need some force when it gets to the die cut. And you're going to push down. And take off the die cut, and here we go again. Just poke a hole for the where the earring hook cuts, because it cuts that too. See? And then I'm going to glue these together using some E6000 glue. So let me clear this out of the way and show you another pair of earrings in progress. That's the cardboard that I used to help me with my... Alright, so first what I'm going to show you is what comes with this set. What comes with the Big Shot Sizzix is one of these plates, another of these plates, you get two of these plates, a platform, an adapter. Now sometimes you need the adapter, sometimes you don't. It depends. I used a piece of these cardboards and just, you see how flat it is, and I folded it. So I used the platform. I used that. I used my healing mat, and then I used the material, and then I pushed the die cutting down. Remember, these are the blades, they gotta go down. So then I put this, and then I ran it through. So you saw this. So I showed you what comes with it and what doesn't come with it, and I showed you the tips, and I told you about this. So that's really it. Those are the things. And your Big Shot, it does not come with a free die cut. My husband thought it came with a free die cut, but when I opened it, there was none. So I couldn't try it out, and he felt bad. So I found a 30-piece set of die cuts for like $8, $9 on Amazon. You can't beat it. So if you're just trying out and you want to have fun, I'll put the link to those again on Amazon, and that'll all be below, as well as the bead design board link for that from BB Craft that you saw me using. What to do is I have to put some E6000 glue on the ones I just cut and the ones I had prior to. So it might get a little messy, so make sure you have a paper towel nearby or something you can wipe off the excess. And we're going to get a paper towel. And so I got this. This is a better glue. It's the E6000 glue. They have different kinds, but this comes out a little more liquidy. And then what I'm going to do is, oops, I need my magnifying glass, is just swish it around. Put a little up top, but not blocking that. Get a little more. Do the same over here. And then you also want to put some over there. And then I'll do the other two. But be careful, don't put too much. You don't want it to ooze. Good as you can. Remember, the holes have to be lined up. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my one piece and my other piece, however you want to do it, put them together and line up the holes, line up the sides, and then, okay, and go like that. And then separate the fringes. E6000 glue is because it gives you time, at least a good 10 minutes to move it around. After that it starts to set in, but it takes 24 hours to fully cure, so I wouldn't wear them till the next day. The black earrings I showed you with the spaces, I waited. So there you have it. And you do want to, once it's fully dry, you can mess around more with the fringes, okay? But I don't want to ship this around. I'm going to let them dry overnight, and then I'm going to stick my earring fish hooks in it, just like the other pair I showed you. This pair that I showed you, I gave it 24 hours, and it's really easy. And it's affordable. The cardstock's like $1.99. Most of the time it's on sale at Hobby Lobby. Fish hooks aren't that much money at all. They're usually $1 something to $2. Then you get a thing of E6000 glue, which isn't that much. You don't have to get a big tube, but if you craft a lot, then go ahead. A toothpick to apply it, and use some jewelry working tools. And this set I got with my bead design board. It came with this and a container full of findings. Again, don't forget about that product review from BB Craft that I just did in my product review playlist. And I'll put the links to that video. I'll put the links to the die cuts on Amazon. And again, the one I got is the big Sizzix Big Shot. My husband purchased that from Hobby Lobby as well. So they have the machine there. So whether you're making jewelry or you're making lanterns or you're making stuff for scrapbooking or cards, a die cutting machine is a very good tool to use. It's a lot of fun. You'll want to watch some videos for tips and tricks, and that's how I found out about the cutting healing mat. Otherwise, I would have went on and then my die cuts would have gotten dull. So it's good to watch a few videos on that so you get tips and tricks. So thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give this a like. If you know anybody that might be interested in doing this kind of craft, please share this with them. And also, don't forget to comment if you have any questions on the items you've seen, or if you just want to say hello. So that's it. Remember to look below in the description box for links, and I will see you in my video. Bye.